Hello and welcome back to Math and Maticians, the channel where we bring you all things mathematical and numerical. Today, we have the story of one of the greatest entrepreneurs of the past century, the story of the man who revolutionized mass production and the assembly line. Today, we bring you the story of Henry Ford, a man who didn't just build cars. He built an empire. Henry Ford's story begins not in a bustling factory but on a quiet farm in Springwells Township, Michigan. It was here, amidst the rolling fields and the simplicity of rural life, that the seeds of his mechanical genius were first sown. Born in 1863, Henry Ford was always fascinated by machinery. As a young boy, he was captivated by the way things worked. He would take apart and reassemble watches, showing an early knack for engineering. Each watch he fixed was a small victory, a step closer to mastering the art of mechanics. He was drawn to the intricate workings of objects, preferring the company of tools and gears to farm work. While other children might have been content with a simple play, Henry's playtime was spent in a makeshift workshop, where he could indulge his curiosity and hone his skills. This early passion for problem-solving, for understanding how things worked and how they could be improved, greatly foreshadowed Ford's future endeavors. His mind was always at work, thinking of new ways to make things better, more efficient, and more accessible. His upbringing instilled in him a strong work ethic and a belief in the power of ingenuity. The values of hard work and perseverance were deeply ingrained in him, shaping his character and his approach to life. These traits would prove essential as he transitioned from rural farm life to the forefront of industrial innovation. Leaving the farm behind, Henry ventured into the world of industry, carrying with him the lessons learned from his early years. Ford's early ventures were marked by both setbacks and learning experiences. Each failure was a lesson, each obstacle an opportunity to learn and grow. He faced numerous challenges, but his determination never wavered. His path was not one of immediate triumph, but of persistent experimentation and a refusal to be deterred by failure. He understood that success was not a straight line, but a journey filled with twists and turns. He tinkered with steam engines, absorbed knowledge from every workshop he could find, and honed his skills through trial and error. Each new project was a chance to apply what he had learned, to test his ideas and refine his techniques. These formative experiences, though seemingly distant from the grandeur of his later achievements, were crucial in shaping the determined and visionary entrepreneur he would become. They laid the foundation for his future success, providing him with the skills and knowledge he would need to revolutionize the automotive industry. This period of exploration and self-education laid the foundation for Ford's groundbreaking contributions to the world of manufacturing. His relentless pursuit of knowledge and his willingness to experiment were key to his later innovations. It was in these early years that the seeds of his ambition were sown, nurtured by a relentless curiosity and a drive to transform the world around him. His vision was clear: to create something that would change the way people lived and worked. From these humble beginnings, Henry Ford would emerge as a titan of industry, forever changing the landscape of manufacturing and leaving an indelible mark on the 20th century. His journey from a curious farm boy to an industrial pioneer is a testament to the power of ingenuity, hard work, and an unyielding spirit. In 1903, Henry Ford, fueled by years of tireless experimentation and an unwavering belief in his vision, established the Ford Motor Company. This pivotal moment marked the beginning of a revolution in personal transportation and the dawn of a new era in industrial production. Ford's innovative approach to manufacturing, particularly his development of the moving assembly line, would set new standards for efficiency and productivity, influencing industries far beyond automobile production. Ford's ambition was not simply to build automobiles, but to make them accessible to the masses, a concept that was radical for its time. He envisioned a world where the automobile was not a luxury reserved for the wealthy, but a practical tool available to the average person, enabling greater mobility and freedom. The company's early years were characterized by Ford's relentless pursuit of efficiency and affordability. He was a pioneer in the use of interchangeable parts and standardized production techniques, which allowed for faster assembly and reduced costs. This relentless drive for improvement was a hallmark of Ford's approach to business. By focusing on these principles, Ford was able to produce vehicles at a scale and price point that had previously been unimaginable. Ford's commitment to his vision was unwavering, and it drove every decision he made in the early years of the company. This vision eventually culminated in 1908 with the introduction of the Model T, a vehicle destined to become an American icon. The Model T was designed with simplicity and durability in mind, making it easy to operate and maintain, even for those with little mechanical knowledge. The Model T was more than just a car. It was a symbol of Ford's commitment to simplicity, durability, and accessibility. Its design, famously customizable yet standardized, was a testament to Ford's understanding of both his customers' needs and the potential of mass production. Its affordability and reliability made it a practical choice for a wide range of consumers, from farmers to city dwellers. The widespread availability of the Model T allowed people to travel further and more frequently, fostering a sense of connection and community across greater distances. The car's impact was immediate and profound. It democratized automobile ownership, transforming the car from a luxury item into a commonplace tool for work, leisure, and exploration. This shift had a ripple effect on American society, influencing everything from urban planning to social customs. The rise of the automobile culture led to the development of new infrastructure, such as roads and highways, and changed the way cities and towns were designed and built. The open road beckoned, and with the Model T, Henry Ford made it possible for millions to answer the call. The freedom and mobility offered by the Model T opened up new opportunities for adventure and exploration, forever changing the way people lived and traveled. While the Model T represented a triumph of design and engineering, it was Henry Ford's pioneering implementation of the moving assembly line that truly revolutionized the manufacturing process. In 1913, at his Highland Park plant, Ford introduced a system that would forever change the way goods were produced, not just automobiles, but countless other products that shaped the modern world. The concept was deceptively simple, yet profoundly impactful. By breaking down the complex process of automobile assembly into a series of smaller, more manageable tasks, Ford was able to drastically increase efficiency. Workers were stationed along a moving conveyor belt, each responsible for a specific task, repeating it as the chassis moved along the line. This division of labor, while seemingly monotonous, allowed for specialization and a level of precision previously unattainable in large-scale manufacturing. The impact of the moving assembly line was nothing short of revolutionary. Production times plummeted, costs were reduced, and the volume of output soared. The Model T, once a relatively expensive purchase, became increasingly affordable, further fueling its popularity and cementing its place in automotive history. This system, which came to be known as Fordism, transcended the automotive industry, influencing manufacturing practices across a wide range of sectors. Factories around the world adopted Ford's innovative approach, recognizing its potential to increase productivity and drive down costs. The moving assembly line, a testament to Henry Ford's relentless pursuit of efficiency, had become a cornerstone of modern industrial production. Henry Ford's impact extended far beyond the factory floor. His bold decision in 1914 to introduce the $5 workday, more than doubling the prevailing wage for industrial workers at the time, sent shockwaves through the business world and ignited a national conversation about fair labor practices and the role of industry in society. This unprecedented move was motivated by a combination of factors. Ford recognized that a well-compensated workforce was a more productive workforce. Higher wages translated into increased worker loyalty, reduced turnover, and a higher standard of living for his employees. This, in turn, fueled consumer spending, creating a larger market for the automobiles Ford was producing. The $5 workday was not solely a calculated business decision. It was also a reflection of Ford's belief in social responsibility. He envisioned a world where his workers could afford the very cars they were building, where prosperity was shared and where industrial progress went hand in hand with the well-being of the workforce. This move had a profound impact on labor relations and societal expectations. Ford's decision set a new standard for worker compensation, forcing other companies to re-evaluate their own practices in order to attract and retain talent. The $5 workday became a symbol of the potential for industry to be a force for positive social change, ushering in a new era of awareness and debate about workers' rights and the relationship between employers and employees. While Henry Ford's introduction of the $5 workday was lauded by many as a progressive step, his relationship with labor was not without its complexities and challenges. This initiative, introduced in 1914, doubled the average wage of auto workers at the time and was seen as a bold move to reduce turnover and attract the best talent. However, it also came with strings attached, including strict behavioral requirements and a level of scrutiny that many found invasive. The same drive for efficiency and control that revolutionized the factory floor also led to a management style that some workers found rigid and demanding. Ford's obsession with productivity meant that every second of the workday was accounted for, leaving little room for personal discretion or breaks. This approach, while effective in boosting output, often left workers feeling like mere cogs in a vast industrial machine. The repetitive nature of the assembly line, while efficient, could be physically and mentally taxing. Workers were required to perform the same tasks over and over again, leading to fatigue and a sense of monotony. This relentless pace was not only exhausting, but also contributed to a high rate of workplace injuries. As tired workers were more prone to mistakes, turnover was initially high as workers struggled to adapt to the pace and monotony of the work. Many new hires found the conditions unbearable and left within a few months, forcing Ford to constantly recruit and train new employees. This high turnover rate was costly and disruptive, prompting Ford to seek solutions that would stabilize his workforce. Ford responded with a combination of incentives and strict workplace rules, seeking to maintain productivity while addressing some of the concerns raised by his workforce. He introduced profit-sharing plans and bonuses for workers who met certain performance and behavior standards. At the same time, he enforced a strict code of conduct, with inspectors monitoring workers' behavior both inside and outside the factory. The rise of labor unions in the early 20th century presented another challenge for Ford. As workers across various industries began to organize for better wages and working conditions, Ford's factories were not immune to these movements. Union organizers saw the potential to rally Ford's large workforce, which was ripe for collective bargaining. He was staunchly opposed to unionization, viewing it as a threat to his authority and his vision for the company. Ford believed that unions would interfere with his ability to manage the factory efficiently and feared that they would lead to increased labor costs and decreased productivity. His anti-union stance was well known, and he took various measures to prevent union activities within his factories. This led to periods of labor unrest, as workers sought to organize and negotiate for better working conditions and a greater voice in the workplace. Strikes and protests became more common, disrupting production and drawing public attention to the workers' grievances. The tension between management and labor was palpable, and the struggle for power and control played out in the public eye. Ford's response to these challenges was multifaceted. He recognized that simply opposing unions was not enough and that he needed to address the underlying issues driving worker dissatisfaction. This led to a series of reforms and initiatives aimed at improving the overall work environment and worker morale. He implemented a sociological department to address worker concerns, offering counseling and assistance with personal issues. This department was tasked with helping workers with everything from financial planning to family problems, reflecting Ford's belief that a stable home life would lead to a more productive workforce. He also experimented with reduced work hours and improved factory conditions in an effort to address issues of fatigue and safety. By shortening the workday and investing in better lighting and ventilation, Ford hoped to create a more humane and sustainable work environment. These changes were part of his broader vision of industrial welfare, which aimed to balance efficiency with worker well-being. However, his opposition to unions remained firm, leading to ongoing tensions with organized labor. Despite his efforts to improve working conditions, many workers still felt that union representation was necessary to protect their interests and ensure fair treatment. This ongoing conflict highlighted the limitations of Ford's paternalistic approach to labor relations. This period highlighted the inherent tensions between Ford's progressive ideals and his desire for control over his industrial empire. While he was a visionary in many respects, His reluctance to share power with his workers ultimately undermined some of his more progressive initiatives. The struggle between innovation and control was a defining feature of Ford's approach to labor relations. It underscored the complexities of labor relations in a rapidly changing world and the ongoing struggle to balance the demands of efficiency with the well-being of the workforce. As industries continue to evolve, the lessons from Ford's era remain relevant, reminding us of the importance of addressing both the economic and human aspects of labor in the pursuit of progress. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you liked the video, please hit that thumbs up button. We also please ask you to subscribe to the channel because it greatly supports the work here we do at Math and Maticians. Thanks again, and until next time, stay calculating, my friends.